In the quiet of a suburban morning, a young girl named Lily stepped out of her house, the cool dew of the grass brushing against her bare feet. The world around her was painted with the soft, early light that promised a warm summer day ahead. She squinted slightly, the sun just peeking over the horizon, as she made her way to the mailbox at the end of the driveway. The metal was cold to the touch, a stark contrast to the heat that would soon envelop the neighborhood. Lily pulled out a single envelope, slightly crumpled from its journey. The handwriting was unfamiliar, the stamp foreign. With a flick of her thumb, she flipped it over and saw her name scrawled in ink that looked suspiciously like it had been applied with a quill. She felt a shiver of excitement run down her spine, a sensation that was as unpredictable as the letter's appearance. Her mother, Rachel, called out to her from the kitchen window, the scent of pancakes and bacon wafting through the screen door. "Breakfast is almost ready, Lily," she shouted. But Lily was already lost in the mystery of the letter, her eyes scanning the unfamiliar script that seemed to dance across the page. The words inside the envelope spoke of adventure and secrets, of a place she had never heard of, and a quest that was seemingly tailored to her. The paper felt ancient, almost brittle between her fingers, yet it held a vibrant energy that seemed to pulse with every beat of her heart. Rachel's voice grew more insistent, but the letter's siren song was louder, calling her to a destiny she could not ignore. Her curiosity piqued. Lily retreated to her room, the sun's rays now fully illuminating the space. She sat cross-legged on her bed, the envelope discarded beside her. The letter spoke of a hidden realm, a place where magic was as common as breathing and where she, a descendant of a long-lost lineage, was needed to restore balance. Her heart raced with excitement and a touch of fear as she read on, the words painting a vivid picture of a world in peril. The instructions were clear, yet cryptic. A map unfolded from the last page, revealing an intricate web of paths and landmarks that she had never seen before. An invisible force compelled her to touch the parchment, and as her fingertips grazed the ink, a sudden warmth spread through her body. A soft whisper seemed to echo in her mind, guiding her, telling her that she had been chosen. Lily looked around her room, her eyes lingering on the familiar objects that had been her companions for so long. Her stomach growled, a reminder of the breakfast that waited, but the allure of the letter was too strong. With trembling hands, she folded the map and tucked it into her pocket, the paper feeling alive against her skin. The decision was made. She would embark on this journey, even if it meant leaving everything she knew behind. Rachel would understand, she hoped, as she took a deep breath and stepped into the unknown, the weight of 1,000 possibilities pressing down on her young shoulders. Her heart racing, she slipped on her shoes and tiptoed back to the kitchen. Rachel was busy flipping pancakes, humming a tune that filled the air with comfort. Lily took a moment to watch her mother, committing the sight to memory, knowing that she might not return to this peaceful life for a very long time. Swallowing the lump in her throat, she approached Rachel, who turned with a smile that faltered as she saw the seriousness etched on her daughter's face. Without a word, Lily handed her the letter. Rachel's eyes widened as she took it, her expression a mix of shock and disbelief. The warm, comforting smells of breakfast were forgotten as she read the ancient script, her face paling with each line. When she reached the end, she looked up, her gaze meeting Lily's with a newfound gravity. "What is this, sweetie?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Lily took a deep breath and recounted the tale the letter had woven, her voice shaking with excitement and fear. Rachel listened, her hand hovering over the map that had called to her from the envelope. When Lily finished speaking, Rachel pulled her into a tight embrace, her eyes brimming with tears. "You must go," she said, her voice firm despite the quiver in her chin. "You were born for this. I can feel it." The two of them stood there, the kitchen a silent witness to the monumental moment unfolding between them. Rachel's eyes searched hers, seeking reassurance, finding only the resolve that burned brightly within her daughter. With a final squeeze, she released Lily, who felt a sudden surge of strength flow through her. Nodding, she knew that she had made the right choice. The sun had fully risen now, casting a warm glow across the kitchen. Rachel handed Lily a bag filled with food and supplies, a silent acknowledgement of the journey ahead. They exchanged a knowing look, a silent promise that she would return, and with one last hug, Lily turned and walked out the door, her destiny in her pocket and the map to a new world in her hand. The screen door slammed shut behind her, the sound echoing through the stillness of the morning, a declaration of her departure to the quiet street. As she began to walk down the sidewalk, the whispers grew louder, the map seemingly alive with anticipation. Each step she took brought her closer to the path that awaited her. Lily glanced back at her house, Rachel watching from the window, her hand waving a silent goodbye. With a final nod to the life she was leaving behind, Lily turned and stepped onto the path that would lead her to adventure, her heart pounding with excitement and the whispers of the letter guiding her every move. The world of magic was calling, and she was ready to answer. The map was unlike anything she had ever seen before. It was not just a guide, but a living document, changing with the land it represented. As she followed the twisting roads and mysterious symbols, the scenery around her began to shift. The familiar sights of her neighborhood slowly morphed into a landscape that was both eerie and enchanting. Trees grew taller, their leaves shimmering with an unearthly light, and the air grew thick with the scent of blooming flowers she could not name. The whispers grew clearer, urging her forward, and soon she found herself standing before an archway of vines that seemed to pulse with an inner energy. The arch was the entrance to the hidden realm, a gateway that had remained untouched for centuries. Lily took a deep breath and stepped through, the vines parting before her like a curtain drawn back by unseen hands. On the other side, she emerged into a world of color, so vivid it was as if someone had painted it with a palette of every hue imaginable. The sky was a deep, sapphire blue, and the sun was a giant, golden orb that hung low, casting long shadows across the land. The ground beneath her feet was a carpet of velvety moss, and the trees around her were so tall they seemed to touch the heavens themselves. The air was alive with the buzz of unseen creatures and the distant sound of rushing water, hinting at a river or a waterfall nearby. Her eyes wide with wonder, Lily took a tentative step forward, her heart racing as she ventured into the unknown. The whispers grew into a crescendo, and she could feel the eyes of the hidden realm upon her, watching her every move. This was just the beginning of her journey, a journey that would challenge her in ways she could not yet imagine. But she was ready to face whatever lay ahead and fulfill her destiny as the chosen one. The adventure was only just starting, and she could not wait to see where it would take her. The path beneath her feet grew steeper, winding through the forest that surrounded the archway. The trees grew denser, their branches intertwining to form a natural canopy above her head. Sunlight pierced through the leaves and beams, casting dappled patterns on the ground and illuminating the path ahead. As she climbed, the sounds of the realm grew clearer, the whispers of the trees and the distant calls of creatures she had never heard before. It was a symphony of life that sang to her soul, filling her with a sense of belonging that she had never felt before. Lily reached the crest of the hill and gasped as she took in the sight before her. The land stretched out in a tapestry of color, a vast expanse of rolling meadows and towering mountains that seemed to touch the very sky. In the distance, she could see a castle, its turrets glinting in the sun. It was a place of power, she knew, a place where she would find the answers she sought. The map in her hand fluttered, pointing her in the direction of the castle, urging her forward. With a newfound determination, she set off, her feet carrying her swiftly across the uneven terrain. As she drew closer, she could see that the castle was not as welcoming as it had seemed from afar. The stones were dark and foreboding, the ivy that clung to the walls thick and menacing. A sense of unease grew within her, but she pushed it aside, focusing instead on the promise of the adventure ahead. The whispers grew louder as she approached, and she could make out words among the sounds. They spoke of battles and triumphs, of love and loss, of a world that had been torn apart by an ancient evil. The closer she got to the castle, the more urgent the whispers grew, as if the very land itself was begging for her help. The gates loomed before her, tall and imposing, seemingly untouched by time. A single word was etched into the wood, "Welcome," but the tone of the whisper suggested it was anything but. Lily took a deep breath and stepped through, the gates groaning as they swung open, revealing the courtyard beyond. It was empty, save for a solitary figure standing at the top of the stairs that led to the castle's entrance. The figure was shrouded in shadow, but she could feel the power emanating from it, a power that both terrified and intrigued her. As she approached, the figure slowly turned, the hood of his cloak falling back to reveal a face that was both kind and ancient. "You are the one," he said, his voice resonating through the air like a soft melody. "The one who will restore balance to our world." Lily felt a sudden rush of energy, and the whispers grew silent. She knew in that moment that she had found her guide, her mentor in this strange and wondrous land. With a nod, she took another step forward, ready to embrace the destiny that awaited her beyond the castle walls. The story of her life was about to begin, and she was eager to write the first page of this thrilling new chapter. The man beckoned, and she followed, her eyes drinking in the grandeur of the castle. It was a place of beauty and darkness, of secrets and forgotten lore. As they ascended the stairs, she could feel the history of the place, the echoes of battles and ballads that had been played out within its stones. The air grew heavier, the anticipation palpable as they reached the arched entrance. The castle was alive with whispers, the very walls seeming to breathe with the weight of the stories they held. Lily's heart pounded in her chest as she stepped over the threshold, the door groaning shut behind her. The great hall was vast and shadowy, lit only by flickering candles that danced in the breeze, casting eerie shadows that danced along the ancient tapestries. The man, named Elgar, led her to a small, dusty room where a single book rested upon a pedestal. The book was bound in leather, its pages yellowed with age. As Lily reached out to touch it, a spark of energy jumped from the pages to her fingertips. Elgar spoke in a hushed tone. "This is the Book of Balance. It holds the knowledge you seek, the history of your ancestors, and the prophecy that brought you here. But beware, for with great power comes great responsibility. The path you walk is fraught with danger, and the choices you make will shape not only your fate, but that of our realm." With trembling hands, Lily opened the book, the pages crackling with ancient wisdom. The words within spoke of a world in dire need of a hero, a world that had been thrown into chaos by a force that threatened to consume all that was good. Her eyes scanned the pages, her mind racing to piece together the puzzle that was her heritage. This was no fairy tale, no childish whimsy. This was her reality now, a destiny she had been born to fulfill. Elgar stepped back, allowing her the space to absorb the information. As she read, Lily felt the weight of her newfound purpose settle upon her. The whispers grew faint, the castle's secrets now revealed to her, waiting for her to act. Rachel's face swam before her eyes, her mother's love and belief in her a beacon of strength. She was not alone in this. She had her mother's support, and now she had the guidance of Elgar, her mysterious mentor. With a deep breath, she closed the book, the leather feeling warm to the touch. She knew what she had to do. The time for preparation was over. The time for action had come. She looked up, her eyes meeting Elgar's knowing gaze, who offered her a small, encouraging smile. "I'm ready," she said firmly. "Teach me what I must know to restore balance to your world." Elgar's smile grew, the warmth in his eyes lighting the room. "Very well," he said. "Let us begin your training, Lily of the Hidden Realm. For you are not just a girl from a quiet suburban street. You are a warrior of destiny." The journey ahead was fraught with peril, but Lily felt a surge of excitement and determination. This was where she belonged, in a world of magic and wonder, where she could truly become the person she was meant to be. As the pages of her destiny began to unfold, She knew that she would face challenges and enemies beyond her wildest dreams. But with courage in her heart and the whispers of the realm to guide her, she was ready to conquer whatever lay ahead. The training was intense and grueling. Every day, she would rise with the sun to practice her newfound abilities. Elgar pushed her to her limits and beyond. He taught her to harness the power of the elements, to weave spells that could both heal and destroy, and to navigate the treacherous political landscape of the realm. The whispers grew fainter as the days turned to weeks, the voices of the land becoming a distant memory as she focused on her lessons. But every night, as she lay in her cold, stone bed, she could feel the realm's energy pulsing through her veins, a reminder of her purpose. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in hues of pink and gold, Elgar called her to the battlements. "Lily," he said, his voice solemn, "the time has come for you to face your first challenge." He pointed to the horizon, where a dark cloud was rapidly approaching. A creature of shadow has been wreaking havoc in the nearby village. It feeds on fear and chaos, growing stronger with each passing day. Your training has prepared you for this. Her heart hammered in her chest as she looked at the ominous cloud. The whispers of the realm grew loud again, a cacophony of fear and pain. She knew she had to act. "I'll go," she said, her voice steady. "I'll stop it." Rachel's words echoed in her mind. "You were born for this." Lily took a deep breath and nodded. Elgar handed her a staff, the wood warm and humming with magic. "This belonged to your ancestor. It will guide you and protect you. Remember your training, Lily." With the staff in hand, Lily set off into the gathering dusk. The whispers grew clearer as she approached the village, the cries of the villagers piercing the air. She could see the creature now, a shadowy mass that twisted and writhed like a living nightmare. The creature turned to face her, its eyes burning with malice. The villagers cowered, their fear palpable. Lily took a firm grip on the staff, feeling the power of her ancestors surge through her. "I am Lily," she shouted, her voice ringing out with a strength she hadn't known she possessed. "I come to end your reign of terror." The creature let out a deafening roar, charging towards her. She planted her feet firmly, channeling the magic of the staff. As the creature drew near, she raised the staff and called forth a burst of light. The creature screeched, recoiling from the brightness. The battle was fierce, the creature's tendrils of shadow wrapping around her, trying to squeeze the life from her body. But Lily was not alone. The whispers of the realm grew louder, guiding her, lending her strength. With a final, desperate push, she sent a blast of pure energy into the heart of the creature. It shuddered and dissipated into the air, the whispers of fear replaced by sighs of relief. The villagers emerged from their homes, their faces a mix of awe and gratitude. They had never seen such a young hero, let alone one from their own world. Lily felt a swell of pride and accomplishment, her heart beating in time with the whispers of thanks from the realm. The journey back to the castle was filled with tales of her bravery, the whispers of the realm, now carrying the story of her victory. When she returned to Elgar, she found him waiting in the courtyard, a proud smile on his face. "You have done well," he said, "but this is only the beginning. The realm holds many more dangers, and the prophecy has yet to be fulfilled. Rest now, for tomorrow we continue your training." With the setting sun casting long shadows, Lily climbed the stairs to her chamber, the weight of her destiny feeling heavier than ever before. But she was not deterred, for she had felt the power of the realm, and she knew that with each victory she grew stronger, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The days of training turned into weeks, and Lily's abilities grew in leaps and bounds. She could now manipulate the elements with ease, calling forth gusts of wind and summoning bolts of lightning. Her connection to the realm had deepened, and the whispers grew clearer, speaking not just of the immediate dangers, but also of the larger tapestry of the world's fate. One evening, as she sat by the window, Watching the stars emerge in the velvet sky, the whispers grew unusually insistent. They spoke of a great evil that had been awakened, a force that threatened to engulf the realm in darkness. The whispers grew into a chant, a warning of a creature of unspeakable power that had been set free. The name of this creature was a hiss on the wind, a name that sent shivers down her spine, the Dark Ruler. His minions had been working in the shadows, and now he had marshaled his forces, poised to strike at the very heart of the realm. Lily knew that she had to act quickly, that her training had led her to this moment. The following dawn, she approached Elgar, her resolve unwavering. "I must go," she said. "The Dark Ruler has returned. The realm needs me." Elgar's expression grew serious, his eyes reflecting the gravity of her words. He knew the prophecy well. The whispers of the realm had long spoken of this day. "Your training has prepared you," he said. "But beware, Lily. The Dark Ruler is cunning and powerful. You will need more than just your magic to defeat him." He handed her an amulet, an ancient heirloom that shimmered with an inner light. "This will protect you from his influence, but it will not win the battle for you. That you must do on your own." With the amulet around her neck and the staff in her hand, Lily set off once more. The realm felt different now, the whispers a constant companion, urging her forward, guiding her steps. The journey was long and fraught with danger, each encounter with the Dark Ruler's minions a test of her strength and resolve. But she did not travel alone. Along the way, she gathered a band of unlikely companions, each drawn to her cause by the whispers of the realm. A fierce warrior whose heart had been touched by the light she carried. A mischievous sprite who had witnessed the Dark Ruler's rise to power and sought redemption. And a wise old sage whose eyes held the knowledge of ages past. Together, they faced trials that would have broken lesser souls. They braved treacherous landscapes and battled fearsome beasts, their bond growing stronger with each victory. And with every step, the whispers grew louder, guiding them toward the ultimate showdown that would determine the fate of the realm. The final confrontation was upon them, the castle of the Dark Ruler looming on the horizon. Its spires reached for the sky like claws, the very air around it thick with malevolence. But Lily felt no fear, only the burning flame of determination. For she knew that she was not just fighting for herself, but for Rachel, for Elgar, for the villagers she had saved, and for every creature in the realm that called out for salvation. With her companions at her side, she stepped into the shadow of the castle, the whispers of the realm now a roar in her ears. The path ahead was treacherous, the very stones seeming to twist and writhe beneath her feet. But she pushed on, the staff in her hand a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. The whispers grew so loud they seemed to be a part of her very essence, a choir of voices singing her destiny. And as she reached the throne room, the Dark Ruler's maniacal laughter echoed through the halls, taunting her, challenging her to take up the mantle of her ancestors. The battle was fierce, a dance of light and shadow that seemed to go on for an eternity. The whispers grew silent, the realm holding its breath as Lily and the Dark Ruler fought. Magic sparked and clashed, the very air around them crackling with power. And in the end, it was not just her magic that won the day, but the love and belief of her mother, the wisdom of Elgar, and the strength of her newfound friends. The whispers of the realm had been with her every step of the way, a reminder that she was never truly alone. As she stood before the Dark Ruler, she could feel the power of the amulet pulsing in time with her heart. The creature loomed over her, a monstrous form of darkness made flesh. His eyes were pools of malice, but Lily met his gaze with one of pure resolve. The staff in her hand hummed with the power of the elements, a weapon forged by the very essence of the realm. With a cry that echoed through the castle, she thrust the staff into the air, and a brilliant light exploded from its tip, piercing the shadowy heart of the Dark Ruler. The room was filled with the screams of the dying creature, the whispers of the realm, now a triumphant shout. The darkness retreated, and the castle began to crumble, the very fabric of reality seeming to unravel around them. But Lily held firm, her friends fighting beside her. They had come so far together, and they would not be separated now. When the dust had settled, they found themselves standing in the ruins of the throne room. The dark ruler's power dissipated. The whispers grew gentle, a soft sigh of relief that washed over them like a warm breeze. The realm was safe, for now. With the staff still in hand, Lily turned to her companions, their faces etched with fatigue and victory. They had become a family, bound by fate and the shared experience of battle. "We've done it," she said, her voice filled with a mix of awe and exhaustion. "But our journey isn't over. The realm needs a leader, someone to mend the wounds of war and usher in an era of peace." The warrior stepped forward, her hand on the pommel of her sword. "We will stand with you, Lily," she said, her voice steady. "For you are not just the chosen one. You are the beacon of hope for us all." The Sprit nodded eagerly, his eyes shining with newfound purpose. "We'll rebuild together," he said, his voice filled with excitement. "A realm of light and laughter, where fear has no hold." The sage offered a knowing smile, his eyes filled with the wisdom of ages. "The whispers have led you here, Lily. Trust in them, and trust in yourself, for you are the balance this world requires." With her friends at her side, Lily looked out over the devastated lands, the whispers of the realm guiding her. The road ahead was long, but she was ready to walk it. The prophecy had been fulfilled, the balance restored. But she knew that new challenges would arise, new battles to be fought. Together, they set forth from the ruins of the Dark Ruler's castle, the whispers of the realm, now a song of redemption and rebirth. And as they disappeared into the horizon, the world they left behind began to heal, the shadows retreating before the light of their courage. The whispers grew faint as they traveled, the realm's voice a gentle hum that lulled her to sleep each night. But Lily knew they were there, watching, waiting for the moment she would be called upon again. And she was ready to face whatever destiny had in store for her. For she was not just a girl from the suburbs anymore. She was Lily of the hidden realm, the protector of balance, and she would not rest until the whispers of her world were only those of peace and harmony. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest stories. Give us a like if you want to see more, and drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts.